Amsterdam, the capital city of sex, drugs, and bicycles. What would you do if suddenly you moved there? How would you infiltrate in such a vibrant and alive city? Would the first thing you buy be a bike? Would you find weed in a local shop? Would you visit a gallery to see the paintings of Van Gogh? What would you do if you wanted to be a real Amsterdamer and not feel like a stranger? Bora Djordjevic, the lead singer of Serbian band Riblja Čorba or Fish Stew, would sleep under the table for 2 days. In the song he describes how he spent his days in the city, and the whole time he was there, he just didn't want to feel like a stranger, so he did everything to become a real Amsterdamer. Let's see how it went. He first, of course, got a bike. He got used to it because in Amsterdam a bike is basically the only way to get around, but it got stolen. Then he stepped into dog's poo, and the dogs there were biting him, but he let them so he would feel more like a native. Then he mentions how in Amsterdam he didn't actually find any Dutch or Holland people like he expected, but just foreigners like Arabs, Chinese, and black people. Then he comments how people in the city don't even sleep, they just drink and mess around. The song was released in 1986 on the band's 7th album called Osmi Nervni Slom, or the 8th Nervous Breakdown. The band is famous for their social and political commentary, so some of their songs had a hard time being played on the radio. In 1986 were Bora's lyrics even discussed in League of Communists of Yugoslavia, or Yugoslavian Communist Party, if the songs are anti-government propaganda or not. But political dilemmas did not affect the audiences. They still filled up arenas. At 1986 Mesam Festival, they were even awarded for Rock Band of the Year, and Bora was proclaimed Composer of the Year. Back to Amsterdam. He wonders how hookers stand in the shop window, sitting quietly, smoking, and looking at passerbys. Like dolls normally, just they were real people. They were completely naked or in negligee, waiting for customers to arrive. The next adventure is how he was looking for his girl in one of the canals. People were driving around in boats, and he was swimming in the canal for a whole day to find her and to not feel like a stranger. Everywhere there is a crowd, a mess, a huddle, and you don't even know who is a foreigner here. He finally became an Amsterdamer, so he wouldn't feel like a stranger in a city full of strangers. Riblja Čorba is one of the most influential bands of Yugoslav rock history. Their most critically acclaimed song is probably Pogledaj dom svoj anđele, or Look at Your Home, Angel, which talks about all the atrocities in the world, like death, suffering, and war. A song which I'll definitely cover one day. Bora had his fair share of controversies during his career, most notably being part of the Serbian nationalists, which lost him a lot of fans in Croatia and Bosnia. But despite their controversies, it can't be denied that Riblja Čorba have some of the most dense, critical, and beautiful texts in Yugoslavia's history. Even when speaking rudely, foul-mouthed, without apologies, Bora always spoke sentimentally and with an open heart. Now let's finish up the song. The song's famous chorus describes a bar in Amsterdam where they smoke marijuana or some other dope for giving hope. The famous line, how he spent 2 nights under the table so he wouldn't feel like a stranger. And the last verse is in English and is actually performed by an reggae artist, Eddie Grant. It says how in
the city of Amsterdam, you can find a lot of fun. The dam's clear and lit so plain. This is something I can't explain. There's a crowd, crazy and loud. In the distance I hear a drum calling me to come to Amsterdam.
So he became a member of this beautiful, crazy city because he didn't want to be a stranger there, which is actually unfortunate because it turns out everyone there is a stranger. So his adventures to fit in were practically for nothing. But it was worth it, because he showed vividly the crazy city and its everyday to people who can't visit it otherwise. So when listening to the song, you feel like you're transported to Amsterdam with all its quirks. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you wanna see more, check some other videos on my channel. Link to my socials is in the description, and as always, there's a translated song in the description if you wanna see it for yourself.